Is weird, odd, strange, or just plain bizarre is really your cup of tea? Then the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast will give you that fix. Can't believe it? Well, listen for yourself as we deliver the strangest news you definitely won't find on CNN or Fox. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Weird News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Heidi, and I am joined by
Sarah
and Arianne.
Hello.
And we will be starting our weird news with a interesting, almost Halloween sort of topic. I find it very frightening. But there will be an asteroid that will pass by Earth that is slightly skull-shaped.
Oh.
And unfortunately, It will not be passing overhead this month. It'll be passing over in November, so a little bit late for Halloween.
Will we be able to see that?
I think you can see it, but you can't really see the skull shape unless you have a
super high tech
telescope. You just work in astronomy or something. Otherwise, you really can't see it, which is unfortunate. I mean, that would be kind of cool and frightening. Just for some trick-or-treating fun. But apparently this asteroid has passed by earlier. I think in 2015. It's actually when they named it. It is asteroid 2015 TB145.
So what is it, like orbiting something?
I guess. I don't know how asteroids work. I guess there's like an asteroid belt, I know, in the universe.
Right.
And sometimes I think they just kind of get shot off from there for whatever reason. Earth does something wrong or something, and one of them just gets kind of like flicked towards us. I don't know. But when it passed in 2015, it flew past Earth at a distance of just 300,000 miles away. And I guess for comparison, the average distance between Earth and the moon is only 8,855 miles, to be very specific. It was pretty close. It was just a little bit past the moon's distance from us.
Mm-hmm. Is it like the size of the moon?
No, it's much smaller.
Okay.
I didn't get the size of it, but they did say that because it was passing by Earth on Halloween in 2015, NASA called it the Great Pumpkin.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So if it passed about 300,000 miles last time, do they have an estimate for this time?
It'll be further this time, so it won't be
Okay.
as close, which I guess maybe makes it less exciting. I mean, I think that's really good that it's not passing that close.
Because, that's just the plot of a movie where things are bad.
Exactly.
Right, or just the plot of our history.
Exactly.
Yeah, talk about like frightening Halloween things just to have it like pass by kind of close. I really don't need that.
No.
I don't need to
That'd
know
be
about
creepy
that.
even just to see, like, even if it was the size of the moon, like two moon-shaped, like, things in the sky as you're trick-or-treating. And you're like, wow.
That'd be terrifying.
Well, and the fact that it's shaped like a skull. I mean, the man in the moon is one thing, but to have to look up if you could actually see it and
right,
just
like a
skull.
Oh yeah,
makes me think of Harry Potter and the Dark Mark.
Oh yeah.
I thought of that too, where it's like a Death Eater going by. That's terrifying.
Kids would stay inside. They wouldn't even.
Yeah.
That would encourage them to not go out at night.
Healthy kids.
The skull goes by.
No candy this time. No candy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
If you're bad, the skull-shaped asteroid will pass by.
Oh gosh. That would terrify a child forever. They would not want to go trick-or-treating. They'll be like, no, skulls come out at night.
They might not even trick-or-treating. They might not ever go out at night again.
Oh, yeah. I know.
That would terrify me. Oh, also, okay, so apparently I do have the diameter, and it measures between 2,050 feet and 2,297 feet. So that's still rather large. But I'm sure with the distance, it doesn't look that big.
And from, in space, the size of space obviously is vast. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's still frightening. So we also have another story that is a little bit nicer, at least for me. Definitely closer to home. So in Norfolk, in England, there is a snail racing championship. that is held.
Wow.
I think it's annual.
How do you get the snail to go in the direction you want it to go?
That's what I'm
Or is it
wondering.
like turtle races where they just have to get to the edge of a circle?
Yeah, so they just get to the edge of a circle. So they all start, it's kind of like looks like a bullseye, where they kind of start in a circle in the middle, and then they try and reach the outside circle.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like they put like lettuce out there or something and like try and encourage it. Apparently the prize is actually just a box full of lettuce.
Oh, wow.
Snail.
Okay. I'd be an opponent throwing like salt chunks.
Oh, that's so mean.
Just for the other competition.
Exactly.
You'll never
Leave
come
that
out alive.
Remind me not to be in anything competitive with Arianne.
Nothing with a snail.
Nothing.
Right. I will find your weakness.
Or just to never be a snail around Arianne.
Pretty much.
Yeah, apparently there are like 150 snails that participated in this race,
Wow.
which is a lot of, I guess it's like a big circle. Maybe they have different rounds.
Maybe.
You know? Like,
is it like an annual thing or was it the first?
yeah, I
or-
think it's annual, and they said that it gets really competitive. They like train their snails.
What? So they're pets.
Yeah, so they have these like snail owners / I guess like coaches.
I have no idea how to train a snail.
I don't
snail
know.
coach.
I guess they said they like take it really seriously. Like they take into consideration the diet of the snail.
Wow.
And they even, I don't know how they tested this. This was just like a line in the article, but they said they're always drug compliant.
What?
Oh, what? Wow. What kind of
So-
drugs would you give your snail? That's awful. Don't drug your snails.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that also counted for like the coaches or like,
Jesus.
I don't know.
So do you have to like sign up? Like I couldn't just find a snail on the side of a, somebody's house and just enter?
I think you might be able to do that. I don't think you have to like train your snail necessarily, but you probably have to sign up in advance. So maybe if like a few days beforehand you found just like a neighborhood snail and decided to sign up with that, I mean, I'm sure they would let you in.
I really want this now to be a movie, How to Train Your Snail, like How to Train Your Dragon. I would like there to be a movie.
I mean,
what's
there's
the duration
snail.
of that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to
so
watch
long.
it.
It takes
Like,
forever.
Yeah, it's just
No.
twice as long of a movie. It's just 4 hours.
Oh no.
There is that snail movie, but the snail, what is that?
Like
Turbo? Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't that great of a movie, but
It was
I mean-
cute, but it wasn't.
I like the concept, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, it's like this, but a lot faster.
Right.
And cars are involved. And
Oh,
the
wow.
snail gets infected with car juice. I don't know.
Something, yeah.
Something.
It's
From
been a
me.
while since I saw this.
Arianne just destroying all the competition.
You know, my husband trains animals. I should ask him how to train a snail. Maybe he would know.
You guys could start that backyard snail racing.
I like it. We have plenty of snails here, you find on the sidewalk.
I have plenty of salt.
That's so sad. Just like the circles would just be, they'd have to like dodge and weave. Oh.
Just like one grain here or there.
No,
Just fine.
they're like, ow,
I'm a winner. Okay, I'm a winner.
you're a cheater.
What? It's not cheating if you found the other person's weakness.
They all have the
Or
same weakness, though.
The other creature's weakness. I guess.
And how would your snail know? I mean, would you train your snail to not go near the salt?
I'll ask your husband how to do that.
Okay.
Training.
I don't know. Apparently, so when they do the races, they have like a damp cloth, I guess, so the snails stay healthy or something. I guess they need like the dampness to move over. So they just put out a damp cloth, and then there are 3 concentric circles inside, and the outer circle they have to reach is 13 inches. And I didn't look to see how long it takes them.
I was just gonna ask that.
I'm not sure. I feel like that would take a long time, but
An all-day event or a weekend thing.
I can imagine, the starting pistol fires and everybody's cheering, and then like 2 minutes later they're all like, okay.
Yeah, they just
go
go-
inside their shells and just say, "We're not doing this."
maybe, I don't know, maybe like the snails just start to like make friends with the other snails in the competition.
It wouldn't be competition then.
Yeah, just like hanging out.
Right.
I don't know
We'll
how
do this
you would
together.
avoid that. Yeah, he's right. Just the camaraderie of snail racing.
Apparently you have to train them not to make friends.
Yeah.
You have to warn them that there are people like Arianne out there who will be assaulting them.
Avoid all the other competition at all costs. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wish they had a video of this when I looked it up, because I can't imagine like really like, like softball has cheers, like I don't know how they would do that in snail racing. I also feel like I would just get bored and go like get a snack or something in the
Yeah.
middle of the race.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I would hope they have at least a concession stand, if not food trucks.
Exactly.
That would be fun.
If it was a lot of people signing up, how many did you say?
This was 150 snails. So I feel like there have to be different rounds, you know?
I would think so.
Or maybe like different stations,
rounds.
like different races going on at the same time. I feel like that'd be
Maybe.
the only time efficient way to go about snail racing.
Right.
But they put little numbers on all of them, so that's how you like identify. They have like different stickers and everything.
Okay.
And I also feel like, I don't know, maybe you just eat the lettuce. I'm not sure how else you keep yourself occupied, but it was pretty adorable. I was a big fan of the idea of snail racing. But I mean, if you ever go to Norfolk, maybe you can participate, or at least go to witness the great snail race of some kind. I would be down for that.
Just for 5 minutes. Then I'd be like, hey, this
Right.
is boring. What else is there to see?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I also don't feel like that's a big place of tourism, but I mean, I don't know. I've never been there.
Me either.
I'm going to jump in here for just a minute because Tate, who is another one of our show hosts, just popped into the studio for a second, and he apparently has thoughts.
About the snails?
About the snails, yeah. Let's put him on mic.
Let's hear him.
Okay, first off, hello everyone.
Hi.
Here's the crazy thing. Every year for the Kentucky Derby, a group of friends of mine, we go and we catch crawfish
Yeah.
for a crawfish broil.
Okay.
But what we do is we take like 20 crawfish and we paint numbers on their back. And you actually have a crawfish race, and the winners get to live and they don't get cooked.
It's like the presidential turkey. You know, you get one.
So I just wanted to share that part because I was listening to you guys, and I've been part of a crawfish race for years. So just wanted to share that.
Call him PETA.
Bye-bye.
My crawfish would be the winner.
How would you...
I don't know
guess.
crawfish
How would you
weaknesses yet.
sabotage the other crawfish?
I don't know that yet.
She'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Put
you
boiling
would.
water in front of
Oh,
them.
gosh. Oh, God. Oh. I mean, that would be terrifying. I wouldn't want to participate. I wouldn't want to be a crawfish in that race.
Oh, no.
No, I
Sounds
mean,
terrifying.
so first you get caught, so you're terrified. Then
Yeah.
you're put in this, it's like
Literally
the Hunger
fight
Games.
for
It's
your
like
life.
the Hunger Games.
Exactly. They fight each other with
Yeah.
little pinchers. I know.
Poor crawfish.
This has gone in a really dark direction.
We're in a different area. Well, okay, good then. It's probably time for a break. And then we'll come back and talk about our next weird news topic.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC to the extreme cage fighting, we got the fights covered.
Listen.
It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts, past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Our next topic will also be talking about some animals, but this is not really a race. This is a search. So apparently there are some mountain goats in Olympic National Park, which is in Washington State, on the Olympic Peninsula. Some of these goats have developed a taste for human urine and sweat.
That's nasty.
Whoa.
I mean, the
How?
headline itself got me, but apparently, so the mountain goats are not actually a native species to the area.
Okay.
They were just introduced, so I felt a little bit better as I read the article knowing that.
So the ones that do actually, the natives there, they're not into that?
And these are mountain goats, not mountain sheep, right?
Right, these are mountain goats. And so I guess, like, because it's, like, out in a park, people will often just, like, relieve themselves on the side of a trail.
Oh, what?
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
then the goats will go find these areas that people have relieved themselves and just, like, eat the dirt where this has happened.
Well, is it because of the salt? Because
Yeah,
they
it's
lick
because of the-
they lick salt. So
Right,
it's-
right. It's because of the salt and the minerals that are found in these substances. And it's apparently driven them to do some crazy things. because they're so desperate for these minerals and salts that like if people are like camping or having a picnic or something, they'll just like butt into people's like little picnics. They'll just like follow people on trails.
That's scary.
I'm just imagining waking up with a goat licking me.
Well, like they'll like find like backpacks and stuff that people have like worn, you know, or like if they use like if people like take off their shirts on a trail and they put them on the side, people will find goats like licking their belongings for the sweat that has collected on them.
Ew.
Aren't there salt licks?
Bring some of those.
There were a lot. I read this article and there were a lot of things where it's like I feel like there are other solutions to this.
Yeah.
You know, like other salt and mineral deposits that the goats could use. I don't know if maybe they've just developed a taste for it now and it just wouldn't matter.
Bother them, huh?
If they put in other stuff, they just would still prefer the humankind. I don't know.
So is this like a problem for campers or in this national park then?
Yeah, people have reported that they said it's really annoying and weird to have goats just like shadowing them and, like
Stalking
Waiting
you.
for them
right,
to...
like hanging around their like campsites and stuff.
Encouraging you to drink water.
Yeah, walking around with water bottles, just staring at you. Apparently, in 2010, though, there was a fatal goat attack of someone who's in the park, and I don't know if this was related to the taste the goats have developed. I'm not sure, but they didn't go into specifics about this. I think it was just like someone got like mobbed, or I don't know what the right term is, but like run over by these goats, and I don't know if maybe that person was like annoying the goats, you know, or something, or like taunting them. I'm not quite sure.
Was it one goat or was it like a whole? Are they called herds?
Herds?
Yeah, it's a herd.
I don't know. I probably should have looked into this more, but I think it could be either. They didn't really clarify, but they have horns. So it could have been, or like maybe a goat, kind of like if they was near a cliff or something. I could see something like that.
Had butted him up. I mean, there's several possibilities. They aren't huge.
No,
it's not like
they're
being
not.
attacked by a bison or something.
They're
but
really strong, though.
Yeah.
And like sure-footed, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
could definitely see something like that happening. So they said, and also, not only have they like developed a taste for this, but their populations are increasing like exponentially.
Because of the minerals.
Yes.
There's just an abundance of minerals. I mean, I think some of that is they're not a natural animal, so maybe they don't have as many like natural predators as other animals would. But because of the risk they might pose to humans, or more of like the annoyance, and because of the like number of them, they said that so they were introduced in the 1920s and their numbers have like blossomed to like 700 goats, which I guess is just like too much for the area,
Right.
and so they've started like moving them, so they'll like try and herd them with helicopters kind of, and they'll like take them in, I think, like nets, and they'll take them by pairs and move them to other locations. And then they like have put GPS collars on them.
Okay.
So that they can like track where they are
Right, they
to make
tag
sure
them.
they don't come back. Yeah, like tag them and whatnot. And I think some people were saying that they were upset by this because they were saying if they couldn't control the number of goats with just relocating them, they might actually have to go into other measures
Right.
of population control,
Right.
and maybe like
Is there,
shooting
like,
some
a
of the goats.
Goat hunting season?
You can hunt bighorn sheep. There is a bighorn sheep hunting season. I don't know specifically. I'd have to look it up. But there are very, very few tags, at least in Montana, where I'm from. There are very few tags given out each year for bighorn sheep, and it's not even if you get a tag, it's not 100% sure that you'll actually be able to find a sheep. So I would imagine there could be a similar process for mountain goats.
Yeah, I could imagine. I don't know. I didn't see anyone talking about hunting, but I think the park was saying that they don't want to have to do this.
Right.
It was just like if other measures aren't working. And then I'm also like not sure if they're like moving them to a place where they can easily just come back.
Right.
I don't know. But they're definitely tracking them to make sure they don't.
Can you imagine if you were just a mountain goat going about your day, and all of a sudden you were scooped up in a net and like
Yeah, exactly.
suddenly taken to? I mean, it's bad enough if you were put in a truck or something, but flown somewhere
Right. That'd be
from a net.
horrifying. Yeah, you're a creature who's only been on the ground your entire life.
Exactly. Why wouldn't they put like salt, strips, or what are they, salt blocks?
Like salt licks.
Yeah, in the area they drop them off at, so they don't like move back.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, again, there were just so many moments where I was like, is that really the most efficient way to deal with this problem?
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I don't know. They said they want to reduce the population by roughly 90%.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow,
they have a big task ahead of them.
Yeah. Tell the campers to start bringing salt sticks and throwing them away from
Like catching their eye and then just throwing it like
over there.
Yeah, I guess. They also said that they can't control goat populations in other ways. Like they haven't been able to find
Like
a
sex
contraceptive.
education.
Yeah, basically they haven't been able to find
Preventative
other
measures.
preventative things.
Oh.
And I guess they said that like they can't implement fertility control because the animals are hard to corral, and then also there hasn't been an approved contraceptive available, which then means someone has tried to make a contraceptive for mountain goats and it, for
Right.
some reason hasn't been approved.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure what
I'm
that
interested
test
if
is.
it's actually a contraceptive or they've tried like I don't know that spaying and neutering is the correct term
Right.
for mountain goats,
Yeah.
but or if they can do that, I don't know. Are there laws?
I don't know if they can
don't
do
know.
that to a wild animal though.
Right. I don't
You know,
know
as opposed
either.
to something like on a ranch or like a cow that
Right.
you
Or something
own.
that's owned by somebody else.
Right, exactly. I'm not sure if they're allowed to do that. So I mean, that's why they said they're having trouble, is because they just can't control them in other ways, so they have to do the relocation. But then I think they also said it's difficult if you can only move like 2 at a time,
Right.
like using a helicopter.
Right.
So, quick question: how long does it take for the what like I guess if the goat was pregnant, how long
Or like
would
the
it?
gestation.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that would make a difference in the population growth.
I don't
but
think they're
I'm
like
not
rats, but
sure. Yeah,
they're
on a previous
somewhere
episode.
between a rat and an elephant.
that's a big gap.
Yeah, I know.
That's a big gap. Yeah, I don't know.
So here's my advice: if you go hiking in Olympia, is it National Forest?
national park.
National park.
A national park. Then you need to take salt sticks and condoms.
Large goats,
Condoms.
extra large,
And just
I don't
pass
know.
them out. Here.
So all the goats just, I don't know. You have to bring like the
Here's a
sex
salt
ed
stick.
charts.
You can only have the salt stick if you read this brochure and
Yeah.
take these condoms.
You have to sign a pledge.
If they start following you, just good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would be terrified though if like some like mineral hungry goats just started following me.
Right?
Like that'd be really sketchy. Like
Yeah.
that's scary enough to have like a stalker in the woods. If I was
is an
like
animal.
alone, like on a trail, and just goats, just I like take a few steps and turn around, and there'd
The
just be
goats
goats,
stop.
and
What
yeah,
if
they
would,
just
like
stop
chase you
looking at
down
me.
too.
I
Just
guess.
start running.
Well, then I feel like I
They
would
knock
never
you over and start licking your face.
Right, yeah. I would never stop for a bathroom break. Like if I saw that like behind a tree like waiting for me, I would never stop.
Right?
Just stop drinking water. Very unhealthy habits.
Yeah. This is terrible.
Yeah, I'd be terrified. So I understand why the Park Service wants to deal with this problem. That could definitely be a nuisance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I wish you the best of luck if you're going to go hiking in Olympia. Beware of the goats.
Right.
They just want your minerals. That's all.
That's all.
So we're going to take another quick break, and then we'll be right back.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Hello and welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. For our ending story, we are going to be talking about someone that the news knows and loves. Lindsay Lohan. She is back at it again. I feel like this is
Back
right
at
after...
what, though? I mean,
back
It's
out
always
on the
something with
crazy,
her.
you know? She's back on that.
Okay.
Back into the news for a story that's not about a movie that she's doing. And this is right after she like had that thing where she was in Greece and like dancing and people thought she was like on drugs.
I didn't
and
even know that
whatnot.
one. The last I heard, she was Muslim.
What? I didn't hear that
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is another crazy story that when I read this, I was like, I shouldn't have expected anything less.
Right.
She was so cute in the Parent Trap.
I
so
know,
sweet. And then
I know.
after that, it was just all downhill.
It
Something
still is
happened.
downhill, apparently.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going. She hasn't hit the end yet. So apparently, Lindsay Lohan was in Russia, of course, because why not?
Sure.
And she was partying in Russia. Also, to go along with the story, she live streamed the whole thing.
Okay.
So it is all recorded, of course, because I always live stream myself when I'm in Russia, exiting my party.
Me too.
Always. So she was live streaming herself. She exited a party in Russia, and she came across a homeless family, and she was trying to be a good Samaritan, and she offered to buy them a hotel room.
Okay.
Which was very nice. But the mother refused the offer. But Lohen would not take no for an answer, so she started following them.
Oh.
And then she said she offered to just take their children to a hotel room.
She's the stalking goat.
She's hiding, following them.
Oh, see, this is just good intentions going very, very not good.
Say no, just leave it at that.
I know.
Well, and no one's going to want to give you their children.
Right. And I also don't know how she
might.
communicated this because I don't think she speaks Russian.
I was wondering that
Right.
myself.
So I don't know if she was
I
just
heard
like-
that, Arianne, by the way. You might give Lindsay Lohan your children.
Not her, somebody else.
But I don't know if she just was like pointing at them or something
Which
and like
would
hand
be really
motions.
scary, maybe, if they didn't understand what she was trying to ask them or
Right.
say.
Also, if someone's just like filming something on their phone, like even if they don't know who Lindsay Lohan is, if someone just like is filming something on their phone and then like pointing at their children, like I'd be terrified.
Right.
Yeah. So then the mother said no again, and then was like trying to like pull her children away, you know, and get away from the crazy person trying to steal her children. And so then she followed them still, and I guess she followed them like into like a dark like park or something.
That's creepy.
And she accused the mother of human trafficking and tried to take one of the kids. So Lindsay Lohan tried to take one of the kids to a hotel and just like forcibly physically take them.
Wow.
Which would be its own version of human trafficking.
Exactly. That's
Right,
what I was gonna
exactly.
say.
I'm like, why? How could you like accuse someone of doing this and then basically you're
Go and
doing
try and
that.
do that. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. So then she like tried to take one of the kids, and so then the mom, which I feel like this is a very reasonable reaction, just turned around and punched Lindsay Lohan right in the
Yes.
face.
Do we know for sure this was a homeless family and not just some random family that
Exactly.
she decided was
Just some-
homeless?
I mean, I don't know. I guess if there's just a family sitting outside at night,
Right.
you would assume homeless.
Probably not an activity
guess.
that
Right,
most-
you know, just take your children out, just hanging around on the streets.
Right.
But yeah, so she just got punched straight in the face. Again, all caught on camera. And I really feel like this completely, like, that's not weird that a mom would do that.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, if someone's just taking your kid, you have
She's
to defend
lucky
yourself.
it was just a punch in the face.
Right, yeah.
Seriously.
That's Mama
And then-
Bear, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then also after the mom said, like, no, and refused the offer. And I just, Lindsay, what are you doing? I don't
trying
know.
to take children.
Okay, so what happened? Did anything happen after this? Did Lindsay leave? Were the authorities called? Did Lindsay press charges?
I think then she just left, and I haven't heard anything about charges. I haven't heard anything. I mean,
what
I don't
would
know
be
if
her
she got.
argument if she pressed charges.
Well, assault, but
Yeah,
but
I guess.
she tried to take the child.
yeah, and it's
Well,
all on.
yeah.
And
I
she
guess
live streamed it. Oh my.
Right, exactly. So I guess at that point, you can't even delete the video and just say you were assaulted, because
No.
people were watching you,
Right.
like assault someone else. Yeah, I don't know. I guess also maybe she was live streaming herself at the party,
Right.
and then just continued doing it.
When she left, did she leave with other people? Was she just following this family by herself?
I don't know. I
There's so
assume
many
she was
questions.
with other people.
Well,
though.
they should have probably told her just leave the family alone then, especially to let it escalate to her trying to take a child.
Right. I mean, I don't know. If you're hanging out with Lindsay Lohan, I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't know what you're thinking about of sanity, of what you're expecting next of a smart move to happen.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I think the mother was in the right. I'm just gonna.
I
I mean,
agree.
you gotta defend your kids.
At any cost if somebody's trying to take off with them.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
How old were the kids?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely think like young children.
Right. I
I'm
wish I had something brilliant to say here that would just make sense, but I have nothing that makes sense.
No, there's no clarification.
I feel like that would be a typical Lindsay Lohan reaction, though. It's like, no, nothing makes sense to comment on that.
Yeah, you just like kind of shake it off and leave. I don't know. Go to the next party, maybe.
Oh,
Typical.
stop going to parties.
I
She
know.
needs to. I thought she was done with that after she got like the Oprah didn't she get the Oprah contract and that was like you have to calm down or something?
Oh, maybe she just moved it to a different continent. You know? Like the
Don't
contract
do it in America.
Yeah,
You can do it
yeah.
anywhere else.
Well,
The contract didn't go that far.
I vaguely remember she had a reality show for a while, and I think she was supposed to remain sober in order for that to work. Maybe that was part of the Oprah thing, but
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh.
that worked out. But I don't remember specific details, so I don't want to blather about that.
Just assume. I mean, I guess if she's live streaming herself, then she has her own reality TV
There
show
you go.
now,
There you
produced
go.
by herself.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
man.
sad.
Yeah. I mean,
Not
just-
sad for her. Sad
No.
for the family.
no. Yeah, right. That'd
know.
also be terrifying.
Yeah, it would. Part of me does feel bad for. I mean, part of me is just like, good Lord, woman. But part of me does feel bad that it's gotten to this point, and she can't seem to
Taking children. Yeah,
I can't-
that's a dark point.
yeah, she can't seem to turn it around.
I know.
I feel like someone in her circle should tell her, okay, you go overboard sometimes.
She needs to get a grip, friend.
Yes. Someone just be like, "You're going this is a little much. Children, really?
Yeah,
A little
exactly.
much." Maybe don't film yourself too. It's too incriminating.
Children just
Yeah. So, I mean, we wish you the best, Lindsay.
Good
Please
luck.
just, you gotta get a little control there.
Something.
she needs to just stay low key. I don't really feel like anybody cares what she's doing anymore.
Right. Well, if she's not making movies and she's just taking children, I mean, she should get back in make a film or something or TV.
That was her beginner film, apparently, since she was video recording.
Yeah. That was her audition tape.
It's her comeback.
Oh,
man.
The horrible comeback.
Yeah,
Your
it feels
career is
terrible.
lost.
yeah. So, yeah, I feel bad for you.
That's
Yeah.
a depressing note
Yeah.
to end this episode on.
I'm sorry. Maybe next time I'll try and I'll be uplifting. I'll put the goats at the end next time.
Now, new weird news. What's today? Today's
Oh yes, today.
Oh, that's better. Oh, let's end on
So we are right now recording on October 2nd, which is a Tuesday, and that is Name Your Car Day. So if you want to go out there and name your car, please
Aw.
do in celebration of this holiday.
that. And if
something
you named
unique.
it last year, then you can celebrate having named your car.
Right, or you can give it a middle name or something.
there you go.
You know, just
Ooh,
continue
one
it.
name a year.
Get a hyphenated last name, a nickname.
A junior.
Oh yeah, that'd
a
be good.
third or something.
Well, it could be like, the royal kids. They all have several middle names. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it could be a royal car.
There you go.
Or like a Polynesian family and just give it a letter each year because their names are forever long.
Yeah, you just keep going, or you just get different titles like Sir, Madam.
There you go.
Yeah,
Fancy car names.
I'd be down for that.
Mine would be Sir William something.
But your car's a girl.
My new car.
Oh, okay.
When I get a new car.
Okay.
Her name is Susan, by the way.
You better make sure that your car is male when you test drive it.
I think he will be.
Just get that
It's part of the
sense.
test driving.
Yeah.
He will be.
Yeah.
Because my plan is to get a Chevy Equinox, and he's definitely going to be a monster.
Okay. Good to know.
There you go.
Susan's doing me good right now, though. She's good. She's good.
Good for Susan. Keep following through. Getting you places. All right. Well, thank you for listening. We are going to be ending today's episode, and we will talk to you on the next GSMC Weird News Podcast.